Hey guys, today I'll be showing you how you can create PDFs in PowerApps and also how you can email this as an attachment. Today we'll be using a questionnaire form as an example. I'll be walking you through how you can create the questionnaire form. Then we turn this into a PDF and email as an attachment. So let's dive in. And so here is the questionnaire form here. It's a user experience and feedback survey form with 7 questions. And we'll be creating this right here in PowerApps, and let's see how I go about this.
Okay.
Over here in my PowerApps Studio, I'll be doing this on the Jumpstart kit, and I'll be creating this using PowerApps containers. PowerApps containers makes it easier for you to build layouts and also to make your app responsive. So it's a good practice to use containers when building out things. I do use galleries to create forms over here in PowerApps, but today I'll be making use of containers because it adds quite some benefit and it's easy for me to set up the layout. Over here on the Jumpstart kit, I'm on the main display container. So I would include I'll be including container for each question. So I will be having 7 containers inside of this main container here. So I'll go ahead and include the first one. I'll be making use of the vertical container. Whenever I make use of containers in PowerApps, I always take out the layout minimum height and width, because it makes it easy for me to make adjustments on the containers. Okay, so that's for the first container, and I'm going to rename it CNT question _1. So it's a good practice to rename your controls based on the control type. So since this is a container, I'm giving it CNT. And just before I duplicate this, I would include a text label and also include a text field, a text input. I would like to stretch. I'll click this to stretch items inside of the containers, and now you can see they are spanned up. Whenever you're making use of these responsive containers, the items in the containers do have a minimum height and width. So like I said, I like taking them out because I don't have a use case right now for making use of the minimum layout height and width. I would add a gap of 10. I will give it some padding of 10 pixels around. For some reasons, I might want to change these gaps and padding, and I want to make sure I'm not doing some repetitive tasks or work. So I would go ahead and create a variable here. I'll put that in my formula bar here. So I'll say fs cnt padding. I'll give this 10. Then I'll say fx again cnt gap. I'll give this 10 as well. So when I get over here, where I have the gap, I'll change that to fx cnt gap. Then over here, my padding, I'll give this fx cnt padding. Then I want to make use of the variable as less as possible. So right here at the bottom, I'll point to the container itself and set that to the padding top left, because I already have the variable on the left here. So that should reflect the value for the top. So the bottom would be the same value as the top. I'll repeat the same expression for the left and the right. Alright, so also I'll go ahead and turn on flexible height for both controls. Okay, so they have the same height. I'll turn off the flexible height for this and turn on the flexible height for the lower one. I want the height of the label to be fixed, then the height of the text inputs can be dynamic, so which it will take up the remaining height of the parent. So I'll turn on the flexible height for that, then the flexible height for the label will be turned off. So now I'll go ahead to duplicate this for other fields. I can take 3. Cool. Now I have 7 items.
Wow.
So right here now, so you can see the text input display is very small because there is not enough space on the CNT main body. So what I need to do is to turn on the scroll bar. To do that, I will come over to the vertical overflow, then click on scroll there. Now it's not showing up because all of these parent containers are having a flexible height, so it's never going to expand over the height of the CNT main body. So what I'll do, I'll select one, then hit Ctrl A, then turn off the flexible height for each and every one of them. Now you can see the scroll bar is appearing. I'll go over to, since all of the containers are being highlighted, I'll go over to search for the height property, then make that 100 for each and every one of them. And now you can see they are at a reasonable height, and now I can scroll down and back and forth. I would include the full name, okay, that'll be for the first item. Then I have the field as a text input. I can put a placeholder here, value as, type your full name. Okay, then I'll go over to the next one, which is age for this. Then this would be a number field because I want the user to only plug in numbers, so I'll delete this and I'll click on insert, then I'll search for a number text input, number input. Then that pops up. So just to remind you, since I added a new control, I need to take off the minimum height and width because I don't need that in this use case. And so this will be a number field. So when I run the app and I test, here I can type a text, but here I cannot type a text. You see, when I type and remove the focus, the text disappears because it only accepts numbers. Okay, the next field would be the are you satisfied with our service and product? So I'll come over here and include that there, and that should appear there. The field here would be a yes or no. So right here, I would like to have a 2-column layout beneath here. So to do that, I will go ahead and include another container. Right now, I'll be using the horizontal container. I'll take out the minimum height and width. Then I would insert a text, or I can make a copy of this, then insert it below. I would increase the width as well. I want the width to be 120 or 400. Then I will just put this light text there. I will reduce the contrast of that. I can reduce the width to 200. Okay, then make that 160. Then I would align the text to the middle. Then I will go ahead and insert a toggle control. Okay, and take out the minimum height and width. Okay, I will expand the width to, let's see what we have for the width. The width is 113. I will increase that to 130. Now you can see the value is label, and when I toggle, nothing happens because I'm using the new control. So what I would do is I will toggle the value. I will change the text based on the state of the toggle. So when I say if self, I'm referring to the toggle control itself. If self dot checked, if it is true, then I want the value to be yes, else I want the value to be no. So I'll close that. Now you can see, since it's turned off around the app, if it's turned off, it's no. When I turn it on, it says yes. Okay, so that's how we can configure something like that. Then I'll take out the shadows from this inner container. I'll scroll down here and make the shadow none, and that looks better now. I'll go over to the next field, which is date of experience. Come down here, date of experience. Since I also need a 2-column layout below this, I'll delete this. I'll make a copy of this container at the top here, then put this in the fourth field. I would change the text here. Yeah, I bet I still need to increase the width for this. So right, for this I need a date picker here, so I'll take out this control. I'll go ahead and search for a date. Yeah, I would ensure I take out the minimum height and width for this control. Then make sure this is aligned to the center. Yeah, so sometimes it's aligned to the center, but it might be a bug from Microsoft and all that. But when you're seeing the app in production, you'll be able to see that this text is aligned at the middle vertically. So I'll leave that way, and but I could try resetting it. I can take this out, put it at the bottom, put it back at the middle, but nothing happens. So let's leave that for now the way it is. Let's go over to so at this point I need a paragraph text input. I need something longer than a single line of text like this. So what I'll be doing, I will go ahead to the parent of this control. So I can click on the parent of this control here, which is the container surrounding these two controls right here. So whatever control precedes the current control is the parent. So I'll go over here, click on this, then I would increase the height for that to 200. Now you can see automatically the height of the text increases with the parent because the flexible height is turned on. So it takes up the remaining space available with the parent, and this remains same because the flexible height is turned on. So we have given it a fixed height of 32. So right here we add a placeholder to say share your thoughts at that point there. I would like this to be a multiple lines of text. I'll go over to the sixth question here. The field here would be a radio control. So I'll come over here to plug in a radio control. It's looking distorted, and I will need to take out first the minimum height and width. Then secondly, I would have to increase the height for this as well, make that 200. If you watch closely, it's looking a bit difficult to highlight the main area of my control. You can see I'm currently selecting the container for the sixth question, but it looks like it's part of the question for 5. But if I run it, you see it's looking properly. So this is also like a bug in the PowerApps Studio. If you're not able to see closely what you're trying to select, you have to make use of the controls, the tree view to the right, to the left, to help you, to guide you while you are building your application.
Okay.
So I'm selecting this, which should be selecting this question here, but it's selecting some empty field, and that's just a bug. But you can use this to guide yourself. So that's why it's important to properly name your controls so you don't run into challenges, so you don't get confused. So at this point here, I need some different set of values. So I'll go over to the items property to change the values here. Right here at the items property of the radio control, I can see item 1 through to 3, which is what is currently being displayed here. Alright, so I've gone ahead to include the other options, or the options I need for this, and ensure they are wrapped in square brackets so it comes out as an array. And when I run this, you can see the options I have. But if you watch closely, I now have a scroll bar because the height of the parent is not enough. So I need to adjust the height of the parent. So this is the parent here. I'll go ahead and increase the height to 250, and let's see if that will be enough. And now I still have some scroll bar. So I increase the height and nothing changes. And that is because the flexible height, the height of the radio button is fixed. You can see the flexible height is turned off. So I'll turn on the flexible height, and that should overwrite the fixed height, and I should have enough real estate for the radio control. Now we are down to the last question here, which is the 7th question for adding additional comments or feedbacks. So, and I want this also to be multiple lines of text. I'll select the parent here and make the height 200. It's looking nice already. And one thing I would like to include is the so the beauty of what I did earlier about putting your gaps and padding in a variable is because the reason I did that is because when I try to adjust the padding for this, for example, or if I need to adjust the gaps between each fields or each questions, for example, I can, the gap currently between each items here is 10, and you can see it here, 10. It may be very small at this point. If I need to increase it, all I need to do is to go over to my formulas here. For the one having gap, I can change the value to 20. Automatically it adjusts the height here, and it's easy for you to format your design as much as you want. So I'll put that back at I'll put that at 15. So it's looking good already. Let's see how we can include the title. So it's basically the same method. I will just go ahead and duplicate the first question. So this is a side note. When you're trying to duplicate a container, if you want it to be on the same level as the previous one, what you need to do is to make sure that when you copy a container, you select the parent, which is this, then you paste, and that would appear on the same line as the rest. I will collapse all, and you can see this is the new container I duplicated, and that would appear at the bottom. So if I had copied this container, Ctrl C, and I pasted directly, that will be embedded inside of the container I copied. So take note of that so you don't run into challenges. So I'll cut this out. I'll go over to the parent of the one I copied from, which is question 1, and I will paste. I can drag and drop this at the top above the question 1. I'll rename it to CNT question title or form title. That's better. Form title. So I'll change the value here to the title of the survey. For this, I will make it bold. I would like to change the font for this. I will adjust the size. Okay. Then beneath that, I'll delete this. I'll add another text control. Yes, so I'll give this an auto height. So I'll take out the shadow for this container, put this as none. The distance between the title and this text below are far apart. I would like to bring them closer. So what I'll do, I'll take out the gap from this container, so that will make it much more closer. And now I think our form is looking pretty nice already. Yep. So we are done with the user UI design. So let's go ahead and add the PDF functionality.